Hello, welcome to this update for the Western Pacific and for Asia. So we have a couple of things to talk about. There's Tropical Depression 5 just west of the Philippines that might affect China. And we have Tropical Storm Moon in the middle of the Pacific just going out to sea. So we also have the extreme heat, as you know, and the heavy rains in the southeast. So let's see here for Tropical Depression 5 first. So it's still kind of messy, but there's a lot of convection in a few areas of the storm, but it's still organizing. And there's like the official track does show it potentially heading to China later this week and into next week. So shows it passes just west of Taiwan and goes into eastern China, especially like central eastern China. So this track will still change, of course, but if you are like in Eastern China or Taiwan, you should pay attention to this very closely. So let's see here. There's like some tracks from global models. They do show like there's the NavGen, it just fades there. There's the GFS, it goes right into Eastern China where the official track is going. The Canadian and the European are further north. Not as far north as Shanghai, that's further north like here, but just south. So into Eastern China. So most of the models are indicating that this will hit China. The Canadian ensembles are kind of in that same area, slightly like further south than Shanghai, and especially like further south. But Taiwan, some members pass right over Taiwan, and others pass just west of Taiwan. So this will produce some rough conditions near Taiwan as well. The GFS is very radical. It shows like some members far out to sea, very strong, but most guidance hints at Eastern China landfall. Some are further south, but most members are like the final landfall further north. And many pass over Taiwan, so be careful if you are in Taiwan as well. So here there's like let's see some operational models to see what they have for this. So there's like Western Pacific. There's the GFS. It does show Tropical Storm Moon there in the middle of the Pacific, and there's Tropical Depression 5 as well. So it does strengthen Tropical Depression 5 to Tropical Storm, and then it does hit Taiwan. This latest run has it passing through Taiwan, and it goes into Eastern China, and it does go as a typhoon according to the GFS, but the GFS is always exaggerating on the strength a little bit, so better watch some other models too for more accurate guidance. But this goes and kind of dissipates there in China, and later the GFS does show some weird stuff in the Pacific. It gets something from the Eastern Pacific and goes out into the middle, but that's like more than 300 hours out. Don't worry about that, but it's interesting. So there's the European model, shows Tropical Depression 5 passes just west of Taiwan, between Taiwan and China. And when it does that, it will affect both Taiwan and China. So be careful, especially some damaging winds and like some rough surf and storm surge might affect those areas as it passes by, and some heavy rain and flooding. So be careful. And then it goes into Eastern China there. So there's the Canadian model as well. It's very weak on the Canadian model still, but it tries to organize, it passes over Taiwan and goes as a messy system, like just tropical storm or depression into eastern China. So, but later the Canadians showing some stuff near the southern islands of Japan again. And here there's like the icon, might be interesting too. So it shows like it tries to organize there and it goes right into Taiwan on the icon as well. So it goes there and curves into Eastern China later. The icon's not too strong either. So just the GFS is like the strongest model. There's some hurricane models here that might be good as well. There's the H-Wharf, it does show this coast. The H-Wharf does hit Taiwan head on in the southern coast of Taiwan. So please be monitoring if you are there and like make some preparations already. I recommend. So this goes and then it goes into eastern China as like a tropical storm, maybe a moderate to strong tropical storm. So this is a very realistic scenario here. So be aware those areas. There's the halves A model too. It goes like it organizes a little bit more. It passes right between China and Taiwan, so the halves A is not making landfall in Taiwan, but it does have some nasty rain bands, so some heavy rain. So it goes there, makes landfall as a low-end typhoon or strong tropical storm to eastern China, probably a strong tropical storm, and then it goes and leaves some more heavy rain around there. So please be careful in those areas. This might not be that strong, but it will bring some rough conditions to Taiwan and China. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. Here's the European ensembles, and it does show that same track. Like it goes mainly between Taiwan and China. Some members go over Taiwan, but most go like right in between. And then it makes landfall in eastern China there. So please be careful in those areas. Most models are showing the same thing, and down the road, it does show some other possibilities in the Central Western Pacific there, but that's still far out. So be careful in those areas. And here, there's like, let's see a little bit closer up here where it might hit. So this is the European model. It goes right between Taiwan and China, and it does approach like those cities in eastern China, like Cannes Ho, Putian, Fuzhou, more areas. So all these areas must be like making some preparations if it passes near. But the final landfall might be closer to like Wenzhou and Fuding and other cities there. So please be careful. Some models have it slightly further north, not to like Shanghai, but slightly further south, like Ninghai and Taizhou. Around those areas should be on alert as well. But the general consensus has landfall around Wenzhou and Taizhou, right in between these areas. So please be careful in those areas. And then it goes, the GFS has landfall south of Wenzhou near Fuding. So please be careful in those areas. There's the icon. The icon slightly like messy and weak, but it does show like it doesn't really have anything that organized, but it goes kind of towards Wenzhou or slightly further north, south of Shanghai. So please be careful in those areas. And as we get closer, we'll have more precise information on the winds and everything. But now, what we already know, let's see the rain first. So there's like until July 9th, next 5 days, the European model does have southern Taiwan, some very dangerous rainfall to 186 millimeters, 190 in some areas. And you see this island right here, right in between China and Taiwan, like these three small islands. If you are there, the most likely place this typhoon will cross is right in the middle. So please make some preparations if you are there. Shows around more islands just north of the Philippines, some dangerous rainfall. So be careful, some flash flooding, some heavy rain from this cyclone shows more around like eastern China and the coast, more than 100 millimeters, and other spots where it might make landfall near Fuding and Wenzhou also shows to 132 and near even like to 185 near Fuding. So be careful in those areas, some dangerous flooding. There's the GFS, and it does kind of show the southern half of Taiwan more than 200 meters, even close to 300 on the GFS, southern Taiwan. So please be careful in those areas, and if it passes right over you, it will be worse. So please be careful. It would pass or west of you or right over you. So please stay safe. There's the icon. It just has like southernmost Taiwan, the heaviest rain. So stay safe. But the GFS goes there into eastern China. It has like more than 400 millimeters in flooding, spots to close to 200 in Wenzhou. So please be careful. In Shanghai, it doesn't have that much. It does have to like some 13 minutes because it's too far north, but these areas on Ninghai should get more than 100 millimeters. So please be careful in those areas. And there's the icon. It doesn't really show that much. The icon's not too strong, but yeah, please stay safe. especially like flooding. It's still too far to predict like wind gusts and wind speeds because this has barely formed, but we can take a look here. So the European passes this in between Taiwan and China with some very strong winds close to or more than 100 km per gusts in those islands in between Taiwan and China. Sunday into Monday, it does pass throughout more areas, some islands just east of China, so like to 114 km per gust. Some areas like Dongyin, that island there. So please be careful. And I don't know here, miles per hour, kilometers per hour. Good. I just learned that. So here, Monday shows like it does go finally near Wednesday, some stronger winds by July 7th, July 8th, but it's still too far to predict wind gusts. But just note that this might have some very damaging winds and some storm surge as well, especially near Taiwan and China. So stay safe in those areas, especially the flooding and everything. So warn others there that this is coming and stay safe. So here there's still like some tremendous rainfall over central and western India. The models are showing like 500 millimeters central India next 5 days. So this might get very serious there. Please stay safe. Spots central India. So like central areas on the west coast shows with the monsoon as well, to like 200 millimeters. More spots to 245. So please stay safe in those areas. Warn others for flooding. So shows like, especially these central spots here. So let's see, in Bangladesh, northeastern India, Myanmar should get a lot as well, especially those areas around southern central Myanmar. Shows further south here towards like Thailand, Myanmar, 200 millimeters near the coast of Myanmar, more than 240. It shows in northeastern Thailand and Laos shows a lot as well. So stay safe as usual there. Be careful near the footsteps, the Himalayas, and northern Pakistan shows more storms. Northeastern India as well, spots of central northern India. So please be careful. Just for comparison, the GFS is not that extreme. The GFS is just to like 150 millimeters, close to 200 in central India, like 178, a few spots to 200. So it has much less than the European, but that would already cause flooding. The icons like the European to 500, almost 600 millimeters on the icon, some areas to 579. So if this happens right here, it might cause some catastrophic flooding in a few spots. And I'm already warning you. Please be careful there and warn others. It does show storms in northwestern India towards Pakistan as well, some stronger storms, and throughout Myanmar, especially central northern Myanmar on the coast. And now, like more than 50% of Bangladesh is showing above 100 millimeters on the icon to 166, 200 in a few spots. So please be careful. Bangladesh, more heavy rain, flooding. The European slightly less, but like 117, 68, 52. So be careful in those areas. Stay safe. The Philippines, this system still close by, so the northwestern coast of the Philippines still shows more than 100 millimeters. So still be careful along the western Philippines, those areas there. Stay safe. And does show here like further south, more showers and storms as usual around the Philippines. Some more passing thunderstorms, some showers to 60 millimeters, 50. Some of these storms might be strong with some heavy rain. So always be careful with heavy rain, no matter what amount showing here. Always be careful. So shows like Indonesia, especially central southern Indonesia to western Guinea, those tropical downpours as usual, so be careful. Southern Kalimantan, some storms in Malaysia from time to time, spots in Palau, Micronesia, especially like in the Marshall Islands, showing some more northern Kiribati, so stay safe in those areas. It shows around Northern Mariana Islands, some fronts in Japan, not too much, but there show a few storms as well. some spots in Japan. The icon shows even less, but does show a little bit central Japan. So be careful. Those from southeastern Russia still shows a lot central Russia, so still be careful around those areas. And if you are wondering about like Africa or Oceania, we'll soon make videos for both Africa and Oceania throughout the next 2 to 3 days. So be aware, shows more spots there, but especially in India, I'm quite concerned about central India. So please be careful. Be careful in those areas. So be aware. Yes, sorry if the sound is like switching because I'm moving it around. But let's see here if we can get the Canadian model to see the rainfall. So there's like just for comparison, it's good to see like more models. So India here. So let's see first for India. Shows like spots across central India. So until July 7th, until July 6th. So this is just next 2 days until Sunday. Today is Friday. So this is just until Sunday. In Iraq, just until Sunday shows spots to like close to 200 millimeters central India. So like the brighter the yellow, the more rain. So it's showing like those yellows around like 200 to 300, so it already shows like more than 250 millimeters just in the next 2 days, and that's a lot of rain for a very short time. So please be careful with flooding. In Myanmar, the Canadians even crazier to 300 millimeters in some spots. So please watch out for flooding. And until Tuesday, July 8th, it shows in central India as high as 450 millimeters, close to 500 in a few spots. So please be careful. Myanmar, the Canadian model has something with Myanmar because it always shows crazy here, but now it's showing like 600 millimeters, a portion of southern Myanmar next 5 days. So please be careful with this flooding. This might happen or might not because every model has something different. But even if it's just like 200, it will be already able to cause flooding. So please be careful. Those areas, stay safe. And later on, shows even more, but that's too far out. So stay safe in those areas. And here for China, so with the storm there, the Canadians not too strong, but it does show here like Asia. Let's see if it shows around Eastern China. So until Tuesday, July 7th, does show around southern Taiwan to 200 millimeters, a few spots, 150, and more around Wenzhou or just north of it, around Eastern China, more than 100 millimeters. So please be careful in those areas too. And further west now, the Middle East is fairly dry, except for a shower or two in Yemen, a small shower or two in Iran, a small shower or two, but fairly dry the rest. But the Caucasus is still a few storms lurking. So be careful in those areas. And does show here like for these temperatures, especially around the Middle East. Today's Friday. July 4th still shows more than 44 to 45 degrees, spots the Arabian Peninsula, 43. In Iran, it's still to 51 degrees in those valleys, possibly. So please be careful. I don't see any cities there, but if you are there, please be careful. Around 48 degrees, southern Afghanistan. So, like, this heat is more than extreme. Please stay safe in those areas. Stay cool, like, drink a lot of water and please stay cool. During the night, it does lower down some, but still like 32 degrees during the night is extremely hot because you need time for the body to cool down during the night. And if you remain hot, you won't get that. So it's more dangerous for your health. So please stay safe. Tomorrow's looking slightly better, but still to like 45 degrees, the Arabian Peninsula, some 42 to 45 in Iran and Iraq, but still almost 50 degrees in those valleys in Iran. So please stay safe. The GFS to 46, the icon to 50 degrees as well. So please stay safe if you are in those areas. And also central northern Iran. more than 44 degrees in Syria to 34, spots of western Saudi Arabia to 42, spots in the heat dome near Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan to 47 degrees in Uzbekistan. So please stay safe in those areas around Pakistan as well. It's still more than 43 degrees. So stay safe in those areas. Warn others about this heat. So Sunday here still shows around the under 49 degrees in those valleys in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and spots in southern Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Very hot spots Saudi Arabia. So stay safe in those areas. Sunday into Monday still shows there in Iraq, spots some 45 degrees, some 46 spots in Afghanistan. So still stay safe. And this doesn't like end. It just fluctuates because the heat continues there. So shows like July 9th, close to 43 degrees in Syria, southernmost Turkey, spots in Iraq to 45. So please stay safe in those areas. Warn others. In Russia, it's quite mild, and like northeasternmost Siberia is kind of cold, northeasternmost areas there. So beware, but western Russia is still pretty warm to hot in a few areas. But it does get warm a few afternoons there, like in northeastern Siberia and spots in northern China and eastern China. It's quite hot too. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. If you're wondering about like the Himalayas and everything, still shows some snow there, the high elevations of China. So just until tomorrow, like in the next 1 day and 3 hours, shows already some snow in the higher terrain. So be aware, this just in the next day or two. In 5 days, does increase in those areas to like some 17 centimeters, more across the Tian Shan Mountains, in Kyrgyzstan, spots in the Himalayas, and more throughout the southern southeastern part of Tibet. So please be careful. But nothing crazy. Shows in Turkey, a little bit of snow too, some around Russia, a few high elevation spots in northern, in western Mongolia or into Russia, like a spot or two in Siberia too. So be aware, those areas. Nothing too crazy about that, but I'm very concerned about this rainfall and the tropical storm forming there. So please be careful those areas and stay safe. Just checking wind very quick. Those strong gusts spots in the Middle East into the Arabian Sea and a few spots in India. So be careful. Turkey, in Iraq, spots of Afghanistan, and that low pressure into Western Russia there. So be careful in those areas. Friday, Saturday still shows as the tropical cyclone goes there as well. Some strong winds near southeastern Russia and spots in the Middle East, those strong gusts from time to time. So Sunday, Monday shows in India, especially Monday, central southern India, spots in central China. So be careful in those areas and stay safe. The image of the day is this big storm I saw yesterday with Mama's clouds. So be careful, stay safe.